Good morning. I'm Martine Brown, and this is our Wednesday growth series. And right now in this season, my audience said, I really want to learn about Canva. So in this season, I'm giving the audience what they asked for, and we are learning Canva or things in Canva every week. If you're brand new, I'm so glad to have you. If you're watching the replay, keep watching because you are going to learn a ton about what you can do with Canva, getting organized, and how to create flyers that pop. All right. So, we've been talking a lot about folder organization. Ola said once she reached 5,000, once she reached 5,000 designs, she knew it was time to get a folder or two. I will be honest and say I typically do not organize in Canva. Probably the last year or so, I've been organizing in Canva because I would kind of sort of search based on what I remembered it would be called. That was usually a big failure because either I didn't name it or I couldn't remember. So then I used the scroll technique. That's what I've been doing, just scrolling until I could find what I needed. Okay. But this past year, I've been working towards having a tiny organizational system to help me guide my work. So drop a one in the chat if you're ready for me to show you another way. I won't say a better way. I'm going to say another way. Drop a one in the chat if you're ready for me to show you another way. All right, I see the ones coming. They coming in a little slow. Y'all fingers ain't moving very fast this morning. Nah, y'all, I'm just kidding. All right, I see the ones coming in. So let's start. Traditionally, most of us, when we come into Canva, we start here on the home page. But I actually recommend that you start with projects. Okay? This is the projects section, and this is where folders are housed. All of your uploads are housed here. All of your downloads are housed here. I think this is a better place to get started because if you're using a folder system, you can go straight to what you need right now. Okay? So my first little mini tip is instead of starting with your search for what you need from the home page, you're going to start with the projects folder. Now, let me know in the chat, is this your first time really seeing or really paying attention to this projects? Let me know in the chat. Is this kind of new to everybody? Have you kind of ignored it because you didn't know what it is? All right, I see you. All right, I see y'all coming in. Got a couple yeses. Okay, so if you want to use a folder system, you'll start with projects. Okay, creating a project is super simple. You'll hit the plus symbol. Creating a folder is super simple. You'll hit the plus symbol here, new folder. You'll give that folder a name. You'll hit continue. And then that folder will show up here. Okay. If I want one folder to go into something else, I simply drag it to where I want it to go. Let me show y'all that again. So if I want my test folder to go here, I'll drag it and put it in here. Okay. So that's the first part. When I'm on the home page, and let's say I want this YouTube thumbnail that's for live calls and this link from live calls. Do you notice when I click on both of them, there's a check mark, and then down here, I can download all of those designs. I can move them to a folder or I can throw them in the trash. I'm going to move them to a folder. I'm going to move them to my social media folder and they will live there. All right. Yep, I will show you how to make a folder again. There are multiple ways to make it, but I'm going to go to projects My recommendation is instead of starting on the home page, you start on the projects page before you begin designs. Okay? And I'll share with you why. To start a new folder, you'll hit this plus symbol on the right. You'll add a new folder. You'll give it a name. And then that new folder will show up in the folder section of projects. Okay? Once you are inside of a folder, you can add designs by pulling from other folders. You can add anything that's been shared with you. So these are things that have been shared with me, so I could do that. Or you can create a design. And when you click on create a design, it's going to pull up all of the different file types that are available. You can also upload your own files and folders here. All right. I love project folders. Let me pause. Let me check the chat. All right, Miss Linda, do you feel comfortable making a folder? And then lastly, if you want one folder inside of another folder, you can drag it and it'll go inside that other folder. If I right click at that folder and I don't want it there, I can move it and put it back into all my projects. Oh yeah, Nikki, for sure, for sure. Good morning, V. Yeah, folders are the jam. Folders are the jam. And I haven't even went that deep yet. I do want to pause. Those of you that are brand new to the space, I want you to invite you to join my community. We're talking about folder organization today because I'm actually hosting an organizational challenge. It's going to start Friday, December 26th. And every day we are going to be decluttering parts of our online spaces so that we can step into the new year with a fresh start, with clarity about what we're going to do each day because things are a lot more organized. Okay? Canva is going to be one of those challenges, but I thought I would get you started by talking a little bit about all the different ways you can get organized in Canva. This is a free challenge, so all you got to do is join. All right, it's going to be 5 days long. You're going to add these days to your calendar, and every day I'm going to make a post. You'll do what the post tells you to do. There'll be a video, there'll be some content. You're going to do what the post tells you to do. And after you do what the post tells you to do, the next day we'll move on to the next part of the challenge. Now, those of you that are already in the paid creative community, what you'll notice is day 0 is already here. Okay? So, how do you join the community? You know, I got to be careful out here on these TikTok streets. But if you're on TikTok, you're going to go to this place right here on the ticky of the Takati. Y'all know what this is called? Go to this thing. Then you are going to go here. And then you have 3 options. All right. This challenge is free. And at this time, you can join as a free member. However, I offer an entire host of products and services that you can invest in where you need to. Okay, so that is how you're going to access that community. Let me just check on some things. If you need it, let's jump back into Canva. Let us jump back into Canva. Oh, good. I was worried. I was like, oh, goodness, did I do something wrong? I'm glad. All right, Miss Samela said she just watched the video. So Miss Samela, go to day 0 and do the action for day 0. Okay? So that's why we're talking about this today. I thought it would be a good opportunity to go ahead and tap into some of the things you need to do as far as your organization is concerned. So let's review. First recommendation is, instead of starting here on the homepage, start with projects, create folders. Okay. Anytime you want, and you can also create subfolders. So like this is a folder, add new, and I can create a subfolder inside of this folder. So those of you who are like, y'all get all into having your primary folder and then all your subfolders, you can do that as well. Okay. And then that way you can find what you need faster, more efficiently over the entire year. Okay? All right. Now, I want y'all to notice a couple of things. I can change my view to a list. So if you like this list view, if that's more of your jam, you could do it that way. And then if you prefer a grid view, you could do it this way. I like grid view. I'm more of a visual girl. Okay? So I prefer a grid view. Oh, Lord, I'm missing my... There we go. Okay? Now, if you noticed, I have several folders that are starred. And I'm going to... Y'all, this is the part that's new. Came out this year, and I was like, ooh, chef's kiss. So if you notice, I have starred. In Canva's world, that's like favoriting. So I favorited some of my folders. And I'm going to show you where those favorites are listed. All right. So I'm going to hit the home button. And I want us to look to the left here. Do you see this? This is new. Most people don't even know to use this. This is called my starred section. And because in projects, I have starred these folders. When I'm on the home page, these folders are right here and available for me. Okay? Most people aren't using this feature. And I'm telling you, you are losing time. Here's why. Right now, I have a clean slate challenge going on. Right? I've got all of my marketing materials around my clean slate challenge. So instead of me scrolling here or searching here, all I got to do is open it up. It's right there waiting for me. Right? The other cool thing about this, you do have to hit the hamburger to see your start, is that I can move these up and down on that bar. So if I don't want the clean slate to be number one, maybe I want TRM to be number one. Maybe that needs to go up top. So I can move these around. Okay. Lastly, if I hit this plus symbol, I can actually add sections. So let's say I call this section social media. Okay. And so in social media, see, I could drag any of my designs to go in social media. So if I wanted this cheeseburger advertisement, slow it down. Let me slow it down. Okay. So if I want that to go here, I can drop it there. And so now that file is in that section. All right. Let me pause. What do y'all think about the start section? Let me know. Divine Touch Media. I have a very, very clear philosophy about when you have tons of images. Like, don't worry about it. The past is the past. we start fresh. Also, I need you to also remember that in Canva and specifically, unless you're going to take your time and you're going to go to the images section and you're going to take your time, you're going to put all these images in. Like, if you want to take the time to do all that, then great. However, I'm going to tell you the truth. It's a waste of time because by March, you're probably going to lose the energy to keep up putting all of those images in the perfect right place. So I personally don't worry with it. I keep my organization very simple. I focus on what's in front of me. And in this season, I have simply been, I don't even use the section, so I'm going to actually remove that. All I do in this season is I go to projects. I create the folders I need. The couple of folders that are really top of mind, I star them. That way, when I am on the home page, I can access those folders quickly and efficiently. Okay. Creative AI, she asked a great question. She said, hey, are you going to have a replay? Let me talk about where to access the replay. Okay, because I do have replays that you can access. So let's stop and do that. To access the replays, you do need to be a member of the paid creative community. Okay. It doesn't cost you anything to join. And guys, I'm going to tell you up front, this is going to change. Okay. But once you're in the community, I'll accept this in just a moment. You're going to go to Classroom. You're going to go to freebies. Where are my freebies? Oh, there they are. Go to freebies. And then my entire collection of free courses are available. All right. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is week 6 of our series, or week 7 of our series. So I'll be adding it right here. Okay. I'll be adding this right here. All right, let me go and add this new member so that you can access the things you want to access. Okay. Boom. All right. So that is how you use folders. Well, that's how I use folders. I don't keep but a few of these. These are going to rotate in and out throughout the year. No problem, Allison. I got you. These are going to rotate throughout the year because in business, our lives are going to rotate. Okay, let me read these comments. Oh, this is a good point. I don't know if you saw Divine Touch Media. I don't know if you saw Diane's comment. She said, make a project for images and then put each month as a folder. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Guys, if this live has been helpful for you so far, please keep the hearts going. That's how I'm going to, the more this grows, then the more I'm going to be able to continue to offer it. The smaller it is, then I'll have to change up like my rhythm and how often I offer it. So do me a favor before we move on to the next part. Share the live, keep the hearts coming in, keep the conversation coming in the chat, because I want this thing to grow and I want to be able to keep offering these services to you. Okay? No cost to you. All right. Now, other things I want to show you that I learned recently. Over here on the left, which this can open and close, right? That's how you open and close it. But over here on the left, I have home, projects, Canva AI, templates, and brand, right? What I learned recently is that I can move these around. So if I want Canva AI to be first because, you know, I make Canva apps all the time, then I can move that there. If I want my projects to be first, I can move that there. If I'm really a templates girl and I want templates to be first, I can move that there. So you've got this option of moving everything in the order that you want it in. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that this stuff moved? Put a 1 in the chat if you learned something new and you did not know. Now, I did find that the home button doesn't move, but these 4, you can put them in the order that you want them in. Put a 1 in the chat. Let me see the ones if you didn't know that those things could move. Man, I thought that was amazing, y'all. I was like, ooh. It's like, come on. I see the ones coming in. All right. So, if you are not in the community, you need to join the community, because for 5 days, we're going to cover 5 different workspaces that's going to help you get more organized in the new year. Okay? Every day I'm going to give you a video tutorial, what to organize, some suggestions on how. You're going to engage in the community. You're going to leave some comments. And doing things like this is really going to help you move faster, effectively, so that you can start making money or incur more money in this in your business. Okay? To send a heart, let me tell you how to send a heart. Hold on. I will tell you how to send a heart. I see that coming up. In the right-hand corner, oh wait, they did change it. Oh, I know. Just tap, tap, tap on the screen. So when you tap, tap, tap on the screen, that is how you can send hearts. Just tap, tap, tap on the screen. Tap, tap, tap. So you're just tapping on the screen itself. And that is how you send hearts. Okay? That's how you get those hearts sent. I've got about 187 people viewing, 24 people in the room. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. Keep the shares coming. That is how I'm going to continue to help this thing grow. Okay? Yep, just tap, tap, tap the center of the screen. And when you do that, it will allow you to help this thing grow. Doesn't cost you a thing. Doesn't cost you a thing to tap that screen. All right. Now, so then the bigger question is, yes, it's great to get organized, but how do I put all this together? Like, how do I put this together? How do I go from nothing to a design? So, those of you who've been with me every week, you know I like to start with the end in mind. So we're going to start with the end product. I'm going to show you what we're going to make, and then I'm going to show you how I got there. All right? Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready to see me design a flyer. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for me to show you how to design a flyer. I see them coming in. Ooh, they coming in kind of slow. It's about 24, y'all. We need like 24. I should see them scrolling in. And those of you that are watching on the outside, come on in. The water is fine. The water is fine. In the room is where you want to be. Okay, so let's start with the end. Okay? Now, those of you that are in the paid creative community, you know that every month I teach a class. I teach classes based on what I am doing to grow my business. I do not gatekeep. I teach the things that you need to know so that you can make money in your business. Next month, I'm going to be teaching a class on how to build DM automations. You guys have seen these on Instagram. They're now available on TikTok. They'll say, comment a word, and then I'm going to send you the PDF, or I'm going to send you the link. Y'all have done it? And if you haven't done it, you've seen it. And so next month, I'm going to be teaching people what I've learned the last couple months by doing it, how to set it up. It's going to be amazing. And so when I'm building new courses, one of the first things I do is I build my course flyer. All right. I see the yays coming in. It's going to be amazing. It's happening in my community next month. Okay. So this is the flyer that I created to start marketing my course. All right. Now, here's what I want you guys to know. I made this flyer using this, and this. All right. My development of my flyer came from this design, and this design. And I know y'all saying, well, what a hamburger. That hamburger don't look nothing like this. It don't look like it would come out of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend this last section walking you through my creative process so that you can grab what you need to work on your own process. All right. Oh, thank you, D. I appreciate that feedback. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. I see you. Okay. So the question is, how did I pull all this together? What's happening in my brain? And I'm going to share it with you so that you can try it out. Okay. So one of the first things I do, I follow Canva's very basic rule. Very, very basic rule. They've got a basic rule and I follow it because I'm a creative that I didn't have a graphic design experience background. I was formerly a classroom teacher, then a district administrator, where I taught teachers and instructors and coaches and principals and district leadership, right? So I did lots of adult learning. That's my background. But one of the things I had to do early on is I had to learn how to make these flyers. And so I took some classes with Canva, and one of their biggest tips is to start with a template. Now, back in the day, the templates were like, there's okay. But man, these last couple years, these templates have gotten so good. And so I'm going to show you my process. So I click on templates, and searching for templates is, you've got to rethink how you search for templates. Here's what I mean. Okay. So I knew that I needed this flyer for DM automations. Okay. But I'm not going to search DM automation because I'm not going to get nothing. Not really. I'm also not going to search business flyer. Okay. I have found when I try to search exactly for what I need, I get a bunch of stuff that I actually don't want. Have y'all found that to be your experience? Like you're searching for a template and like you be like, I need a Christmas invite. Right? You search like that and you get a bunch of stuff, but it's what everybody else is going to use. And I'm big on how can I create something brand new that maybe everybody else is not using with templates. That is how you're going to get the best, most unique designs. So I don't search based on the topic. I search using very simple words that are kind of sort of related to the topic. Okay. So for this design, one of the first things I searched for, I just searched DM. Just to see what comes up. I was like, I know they're not going to have nothing. And so I started scrolling. And I was like, okay. I don't see nothing that really grabs my attention. But you know what? This burger ad, the burger ad looks professional to me. I love the blue. I was drawn to that dark blue in the background. I like the shadowing underneath the burger. And I was like, I can recreate that. So I click on it. And one of the first things I do is I go ahead and hit customize so that I have a copy. Okay. Then the second thing I do is I scroll down and see what are some other things that are similar that I might be able to take advantage of. And I was really drawn to the one that has the cheeseburger words behind the cheeseburger. I don't know. It was something about the words sitting just behind the made subject that made me go, ooh, that's something I really want. So then I was like, we need to customize that too. Oh, I need to save this. Let me start that because I actually like that too. Getting off track. All right. So now I have two things. I've got this one and I have this one. Okay. And I'm going to figure out how I want to combine these two, but I wanted something else. So I continued my search. And I said, okay, this is about DM automations. When you DM somebody and they get a message. So I said, okay, I'm just going to search messages and see what comes up. All right. And I was like, ooh, I like this with this hand. I like the bright yellow background. The yellow and the blue could go together. I said, okay, I could do that. So then I clicked on this. I always see if there are other things that might grab my attention down here. If there are things that grab my attention right down here but are not connected to this project, I may still, like, I actually really like this. I will favorite it so that I can come back to it later. Sometimes if I don't feel like favoriting is enough, I will actually go ahead and customize it so that it's in my account. Okay. But this one, I love the yellow. I like the hand. And so I went ahead and made a custom template of that. Okay. So now I have this yellow background. I got this burger thing. And I got this orange one. Okay. And I'm going to take the three of these and pull them together. Okay. Now, before I do that, I'm actually going to go back home. Okay, because these three, 1, 2, 3, these three need to go in a folder. And I'm going to put them in my DM automation folder. I'm going to do that right now. Why am I doing that right now? So I don't have to go looking for it later. And I already have a DM automation folder, so I'm going to put it there. Boom. Okay. That simple step is going to save us so much time when we go to develop our product. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with starting on this page, but once you find what you want to work with, put everything in a folder, guys. It's going to save you so much time. Now, I'm going to click on this orange one here because this is the one that's going to be like my master slide. Okay? This one's going to be my master slide. But I have those other two templates that I want to work with. So I do this with everything. And most of you are not taking advantage of it. Okay. In the design space, I'm going to go over to the left and I'm going to select projects. And I'm going to select folders. And I'm going to select DM automations. And I'm going to add a new page. And I'm going to bring in my blue hamburger. And I am going to bring in my phone. Now, I have all three templates in the same place. And Chris asked a great question. Am I still in the same project? Yep. I just used the project section here. It's fine. I just used this project section in the design space to bring all of the assets into one single design. All right. That's a great question. So let me show you. DM automations is here. The three separate files are here. So that's 1, 2, 3. The three separate files are here. But because I use my projects folder here, I was able to bring in all the assets into one single design. Let me show you that one more time. Add a page. So I was able to bring in all the pieces into one space. Okay. Are there any other questions before I start designing? Okay, so let me review. All right, let's go back home. I searched my templates. I went hunting. I used simple short words, and I usually search by very simple topics. I'm always thinking, how can I do something different? So I use very simple terms: DM, message, right? I didn't search flyer. Notice I knew I was making a flyer. I never searched for flyer. I searched for topics. I searched for ideas. I searched for colors. I searched for themes like 90s, 80s. Okay. Once I found the ones I needed, which was 1, 2, 3, those are the 3 I needed, I selected each one of them and I put them in the folder that I needed them to go in. Then when I was ready to create my product, let's cancel that. When I was ready to create my product, this was the original product, I used the projects folders to bring in the automations. I'm sorry, to bring in the other template pages so that everything is in one project. Okay? All right. Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to start using projects in your design development. Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to start using projects in your design development. Most folks don't even pay attention to this projects folder, don't use it. But I'm telling you, if you create folders and if you start pulling from here, oh, the chef kiss of how much time you're going to save. Okay. Then from here, it's just a design process. All right. So y'all know it's not about hamburgers at all. So I'm going to take that part out. I really like this hand. So I'm going to detach it because all I really wanted was the hand and the foam. Okay. And I am big on having diversity in my content. So I want hands of different colors, of different backgrounds. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to info because I need 2 hands. My end product had 2 hands. I only have 1. So I'm going to use this description right here to create another hand of a different background. So the description says mobile phone with empty screen in hand. And I don't want it on a yellow background. I'm going to say on a transparent background. Okay, so here's our little AI piece for today. So I'm going to take, you see this description here because I want a different I want a different color hand. So I'm going to go to elements. I'm going to go to search elements. I'm going to paste mobile phone with empty screen in, and I want an African American hand because I want different types of hands in my designs. I want diversity in my designs, personally. African American hand on transparent background. And then I'm going to hit generate image. Oh, Linda, great question. She said, what should I search to create for my sip and blend? I would search for wine. I would search for bottles. I would search art. I would search the word blend itself and just see what comes up. But I would search one little thing at a time. One little thing at a time. And then just like when you're creating your Midjourney art, it's about finding visuals that are drawn to you, right? You might search, since it's a call, it's like an online call, you might search virtual meeting just to see what comes up. Yes, Crystal, you should always look outside your topic. Also, Linda, consider so like if you're, let's say that the theme of that week's sip and blend is 90s, right? So if that's the thing, so maybe you need to search 90s. Or maybe the theme of that. So also think about, does your event have themes? Because you can search that theme. Are you doing a Christmas themed sip and blend? Search that. Okay. All right. Let me check some of these. Oh, Nikki, you've never heard of the info button? Girl, the info button is the bomb. All right. So I'm gonna choose this. Okay. So let me be honest with y'all. With this new Magic Media feature, anytime I use my credits, I want everything. Because if you walk away from this, it goes away. So I make sure to get all the hands. I'm gonna get them all. All right. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna remove the background, and I know I'm running short on time. So we're gonna remove the background from this hand. Remover. And we're gonna remove the background from this hand. And then I'm going to move my design up. And then let's get my other hand, because my original design has two. Let's flip that one. Make that one a little smaller. All right, so now we're slowly starting to build something. Okay. All right, now I need to make some more changes here. So yeah, Nikki, every single element has an info button. You can do so much with the info button. Man, y'all learned a lot new today. Let's see. Okay. So then I need to do something with the text. So I'm going to go layers. And I've got these big cheeseburger text. So I'm going to select all of that cheeseburger text. And I'm going to make all of that small together. And I'm going to put it up here to the left. I'm also going to change my background to this blue. Make that a little smaller there. And I like the blue that was here. That was probably what I liked the most. So I'm going to change this from this orange to this blue. Oh yeah, now we're cooking with grease. I'm going to put these two behind the text that's at the bottom. All right. Then I know that my presentation is about sending emails, right? So the title, I'm going to go ahead and change the title. It's called DMs on Autopilot. And to save us some time, I'm going to bring in my sample so that you guys can see it. All right. All right, so I've got my text here. Place my text. Get that the way I want it. I'm going to change this to my name. The other reason why I like working with templates in this way is because I don't worry with text. Usually the text works. Not all the time, but for the most part, it works. Let me put my social media handle up here, stretch that out. Right? If you notice, I didn't spend any time thinking about the fonts. I'm just going to keep what's there. Okay. Then I was like, you know, this is about sending messages, right? This is about sending messages. So I want another element. I want let me see. I want an airplane, like a paper airplane, like the ones that be in the social media. Usually messages are represented with an airplane. So I'm going to go to graphics and I'm going to look for like a little, yeah, there we go. I'm going to use that airplane. Let's bring that on over. Uh-oh. Hold on. It's because I'm afraid of my audience is showing out. There we go. So I'm going to put a little airplane. I think the airplane looks nice along the blue. Again, I'm talking about sending messages. And this is a symbol that shows up a lot on social media, on all the different platforms. I'm going to move that up so it sits just on top. All right. And then this is about like people writing a keyword on a comment. So in this phone, I want to show that. And then on this phone, the other phone, I want to show them getting the message in their, like how they get the message in their inbox. So I'm going to put that in there as well. All right. Let's wrap. Okay. So yeah, the inactivity. I was like, dang, I was in the zone. I wasn't paying attention. All right, so let's review. We've got our text here. We have our some icons here. What else do I need to add? Oh, I need to do a little bit more text to say what this is about. Let's start locking some things. So as I build, I'm going to lock things in place so that as I add more layers, things are not getting messed up. Thank y'all. Those that were able to come back. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Those of you that can come back, yeah, they'll come back. I'm gonna take some of this text down here, and I want to say we're gonna be turning comments into conversations and conversations into sales, because that's what I've been experiencing. I have been experiencing that as I've started using, the more I start using DM automations, I either get emails, my email list have grown. I've had people to make purchases. Like, it's been great. And so I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to set it up, how to do it, the whole nine. The whole nine. Okay. So the next thing I need, and I'm going to pull from my recent so I can make sure that I'm not going too much overtime. I'm going to use this block. Nope, I don't like that one. Maybe this one. Yep, I'm going to change the color to black so it's a bit easier to see. I'm going to turn my transparency down. Oh, yeah. And so I do this just to add a little bit more layer and depth to the overall design. All right, so it just makes it look slightly more professional, and it gives us more contrast between the text, which is white, against this blue background. Okay. Yep, guys, I forgot to hit my inactivity button. It wasn't up on my screen, so sorry about that. But we are gonna finish this. Good morning. Okay, so then let's see, what else do we need to do? This needs more. It needs more. I'm gonna take this circle here, this bar here. I'm gonna put it in the corner. I just want a pop of color against all this blue. Make this a little smaller. Right, so once I've got my templates figured out, a lot of this is just about just adjusting things the way I want them to be on the page. And there are rules. There are like rules that you should follow. I have a Canva for Beginners class inside the school community. Okay, so there is a Canva for Beginners class inside the school community. If you need to learn like what are the rules so that your designs are balanced. Okay, so we're getting there. All right, and then what else do I want to do? I need a background. Like this blue is too flat, so I'm gonna do a search. I wonder if there's a message pattern. Let's see, message pattern. Let's see. Can I find anything for message pattern? No, that's Valentine's. Hearts, no. I kind of like this. It's not what I had in mind, but I like it. So I'm going to put that as my background to give it more texture and depth. Okay. So I'm going to position that to the back. Right? And then I'm going to turn the transparency down because it's a little bit hard. Oh, yeah. Much better. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this text that's at the bottom. That's distracting. But I am going to add text up here. That says something like, ooh, yeah. Because this is going to end up going on my socials, right? So I'm going to do comment deliver, and I will send the course to my audience instantly. All right, so I got a little bit of that going on. And I can't always tell you why I make the decisions that I make, but here we are. All right. Okay. Needs a few more. Needs a little bit more messaging. I'm going to copy and paste these pieces in so that you guys can see them. So I want to make sure my audience understands that this is about posting a keyword on socials, like comment community, comment fix, whatever word. and then getting that automatic, getting the automatic message in your target audience's inbox. So I'm going to put those. Let's make them a little smaller. All right. Okay. Then I want to also include that it's a course plus a live work session. So we're going to get that in there as well. All right. And then let's see. What else do I need to put on here? I'm going to move this to the left. I feel like something's missing. Oh, no worries. I am using TikTok Studio. I have a desktop computer. So I'm using TikTok Studio to stream. All right. So then once I got it, oh, I know what's missing. Okay. One of the most important things that people don't do enough of is incorporating shadows. Incorporating shadows can really make your stuff look very professional. So I'm actually going to pull this shadow. If you notice behind my hands, there are no shadows right now. So I'm going to show you how just adding shadows can also add more depth to your design. All right, i.e., if you're not a designer at heart, add some shadows. It'll help. So I'm going to show you. Oh my goodness, this is giving me problems. Oh, it's locked. Okay. All right, so I've got this shadow here. And guys, it's super simple. I'm going to make it smaller. And I'm going to put it just behind these hands. It just so happened that the hamburger already has shadows. So I'm just going to move it behind the hands. And then we've got just a little bit more depth there. Duplicate it. I'm going to do the same over here. All right. So I'm going to move. Put that just behind the hand here. Move it behind the hand. Boom. Okay, so just by adding that little bitty piece, now it's way more dynamic and less flat. All right. Yeah, Dean is right. It makes shadows helps with contrast. Yep, Keisha, you're right. Yeah, adding shadows really, really helps. It really, really helps. Okay, so now I have a design that is pretty much ready to go. And I want to remind you guys, especially those of you that were with me at the top of the call, remember where we started. I used that and that and that to make that. Right? So what am I saying? Guys, y'all can do this, okay? You just need to get in the habit of deciding on what your eye likes and finding the right and finding the right elements, the right templates, and to be honest with you, combining templates. Combining templates really can help you build something that doesn't look like anyone else. Okay? Now, those of you who've been with me since the top of the call, what I do from here is I am now going to delete all the other pages. I'm going to change this title. And then I will click on the the bottom page here, that blue, click on the 3 dots, and now I'm going to resize. Okay, I'm going to resize for school. School pages are 1460 by 752. Then I'm going to resize by Instagram post. And then I would go through and rearrange everything. This will be my school post, so I'll call it school. No, this will be my school cover page. This will be my Instagram. All right. And so then I would take my time and just move all the pieces around, right? Until everything is the way I want it to be. So that when I go inside of my school,